activist, being bold, taking the lieutenant governor role to a new level as a public advocate of sorts. In the city council over your multiple terms, you voted, I think, over something like 9,000 times, but on over 200 votes, you've abstained. You haven't decided yes or no. And as far as I can tell, on none of those instances has there been a conflict of interest that would require you from abstaining. So how have you managed to sort of avoid taking so many votes that you found difficult to choose yes or no on?
Well, I do want to mention that it's not just one instance with Ms. Hochul being with Republicans, whether it was the NRA endorsing Chris Collins.
You'll have time in your closing statement.
He was the first person to endorse Donald Trump, or saying that she would turn over people who applied to undocumented immigrants to ICE. I didn't avoid taking a vote, actually. There are 3 votes that can be taken in the city council: yes, no, and abstention. I can't see the record that you're pointing to, but my guess is a lot of those abstentions had to do with the land use. I voted against MIH, which I think has been a failure. Thankfully now, because of my leadership and others, we're beginning to make changes to those, but they should have been done long before. I tried my best to be collegial while at the same time expressing my disappointment in what was moving forward. And the way to do that for me was an abstention, to try to be collegial so I can pass things like the issues of stop, question, and frisk that needed 34 votes, and I only had 34 votes, while expressing my disdain with what the council and the mayor were doing at that time, hurting us and not getting the type of deeply income target affordable housing that we need.
Okay, thank you. And final question to you before we move into closing statements, Lieutenant Governor. You mentioned new sexual harassment policies that the state has passed to a lot of fanfare and a lot of acclaim that the state was taking this issue on, both in state government and in the private sector. The discussions around those laws did not include public hearings, and they were hammered out, unless you want to correct the record, by 4 men, behind a closed door. Was that something that you tried to get your voice listened to on, the discussion around new sexual harassment laws, or did the governor keep both you and Senator Andrew Stewart Cousins, who he had said he would include, out of those conversations?
I can only speak for myself. I was very much involved in those conversations. I was used as a resource, as someone who has lived this experience personally, and which is why I'm so passionate about standing up for women all across this country who've been silenced because men in power have abused that and made them feel that they would not be believed if they came forward with their stories of sexual harassment. I'm so excited about the size of the societal shift we're finally starting to see, and we have a long way to go. And again, as the only woman in statewide office, I have a special responsibility. So I was there helping chart the course that the state ended up adopting, and I'm proud of that.
Okay. Well, thank you both for participating.